All right, y'all. You saw the thumbnail, and you know what it is. First off, what is going on YouTube? How's everyone doing on this lovely early Sunday morning? This is Mike in the house, and today I'm going to be reviewing a movie that a lot of people are talking about. A lot of critics. It did when it premiered at the Cannes Film Festival. It won 3 awards, total of 7 nominations. Also premiered at the Toronto Film Festival. And this is a horror movie that a lot of people are talking about. And I'm pretty sure this is a horror movie that a lot of people will be talking about for ages. And I feel like this movie will be a cult classic. And this is a movie that is, may I remind you, um, this movie is very out there. And you know how I feel about body horror. Now, body horror is not exactly my strong forte when it comes to viewing it. But this just went from 0 to 100 in like a matter of seconds. And I'm going to explain. Now, the movie that I'm going to be talking about tonight, and I don't even know how to put it into words right now because this is probably one of the most fucked up movies I've ever seen, or I've seen in a long, 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 long time. And this movie, when I saw the trailer, I didn't know what I was really getting into. I knew it was gonna be a body horror. I knew it was gonna be something, but from what I've heard, what I've read upon before viewing this movie, I heard the last 20 to 30 minutes was very gory, very grotesque, and it just went nuts in the last. But the last 10 to 15 minutes of it, I didn't want to believe it. I thought, okay, well, it couldn't be that bad. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it was nuts. This is one of the most nuttiest movies I've seen in a long time. And this movie is called The Substance. Now, from the trailer, um, the one thing I love about this trailer is that it didn't give anything away. That's the one thing I love about the trailer. Um, the trailer speaks for it all, and I'm glad they didn't really give much away in the trailer. That's the one thing I love about the trailer. I could watch the trailer over and over and over and over again, even though I've seen the movie. I think it's one of the best trailers I've seen in a long time. So, the substance. First off, click that like button. Um, like, comment, subscribe. Share me with your friends. Now, if you haven't seen this movie already, I will warn you there are some spoilers to this, so you have been warned. So, let's get started. Um, oh boy. All right, I'm gonna go through this movie. I'm gonna go through this review as much as possible. So, all right. Have you ever dreamt of a better version of yourself? Younger, more beautiful, more perfect. One single injection unlocks your DNA and will release another version of yourself. This is the substance. A perfect balance of 7 days each. The one no, the one only thing left to forget. You are one. You can't escape from yourself. And most of all, if you see this movie, you are in for you're in for a big surprise. All right, so let's talk about the cast. All right, so we have Demi Moore. For those of you who know who Demi Moore is, in case you don't know who Demi Moore is, Demi Moore from movies like Ghost, Say Almost Fire, No Small Affair, A Few Good Men, Striptease, and a lot of other movies. And she's also a former Brat Packer. Um, this is a movie that I think, in my personal opinion, is probably her most bravest movie that I think she's ever done. And when I mean brave, I mean brave. Um, let's talk about let's talk about performances for a second. So there's a cat the cast. There's three separate performances in this movie that I do want to mention. Let's start with Demi Moore, who plays Elizabeth Sparkle. She was like a former like exercise guru or something like that. She was like a workout sensation, back in her heyday, and now she's at the age of 61 now. They now are no longer people think that she's not as beautiful as she was back then, you know what I'm saying? And so basically, um what happens is that she interacts with Dennis Quaid is in this movie too as Harvey. He's like a he's like a Vince McMahon esque type person. He's very sleazy. His character's very sleazy. And then whenever they do like close up shots, especially with him eating and stuff like that, you could definitely hear like the grossness. You know what I'm saying? And for those of you who know who Dennis Quaid is, he was in movies like Dreamscape, Enemy Mine, DOA, which is one of my favorite movies from Dennis Quaid, um, The Rookie from 2002. I think he gives one of his best performances here as this sleazy, like executive producer, Vince McMahon esque type, person. You know what I'm saying? And now, um, so now you cut to the scene where Demi Moore she's driving around and she notices that they're taking her billboard down and stuff like that, and then she gets into this real bad car accident. Now, mind you, the car accident was so bad that I don't know how anyone could survive it. And mind you, she got hit by a truck. We're not talking about an F-150. We're talking about a semi truck. So you mean to tell me that she could still walk normally? You know what I'm saying? And it was I mean, yeah, she had some bumps and bruises and stuff, but it wasn't like it wasn't that bad. Like it wasn't that bad of a she wasn't even looking that bad. You know what I'm saying? And it's like if you get hit by a semi truck like that, I mean, you should be in like critical condition, but no. Instead, they cut to the scene where Demi Moore gets checked out by by doctors and stuff like that. She gets to go home and all that. So, she notices that she finds this like USB drive, and this USB drive is named the Substance. So apparently she calls this mysterious person who is in charge of the substance, and she goes to this like secret location. And mind you, this movie takes place in LA. And it kind of had that like 80s, like it kind of paid homage to like it kind of had that 80s vibe, 90s vibe, you know what I'm saying? Like especially with like how LA, I don't know how LA is now, but it just, to me, this movie kind of like reeked like kind of like nice, and I'm gonna get to that in a sec. So she goes to this secret place, and she basically orders like this kit. So what this kit does is basically you have to take an injection, and it brings you, it turns you into a younger self. And that's where Margaret Qualley comes in. For those of you who, me personally, I don't know who really Margaret Qualley is. From what I've looked up, she was in Drive Away Dolls that came out. I believe it was last year, earlier this year. Um, I think she gives a good performance. I thought she was quite good here as Sue, like her counterpart. So how Sue comes into play. Once Demi Moore, she injects this drug, the substance. You see Margaret Qualley comes out of Moore's body like the human centipede. It kind of like, to me, it wasn't like um it wasn't, I put it to you to say, it wasn't the most grotesque thing I've seen in a movie. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, this, now I could take a person coming out of a person's body. I could kind of take that. So Margaret Qualley's character, Sue, she comes out of Demi Moore's body. And mind you, Demi Moore's body is pretty much lifeless. She's not exactly dead, but she has to be injected with some sort of like milk formed like liquid. And she has to do this like every 7 days. So she's practically younger for about 7 days, and before she goes back to her old self. Well, as the movie goes on, then this is where it gets screwed up here. And mind you, this is some spoilers. Okay, I don't want to spoil everything. You know what I'm saying? So so now you have Margaret Qualley's character. You have Sue, who's now very popular, and now she's got the gig of being this aerobic sensation. You know what I'm saying? So not only she's all over the billboards, but she just got her fame. You know what I'm saying? And she's liking it, and she's very popular. Now, if you miss one dosage, or if you don't follow the 7 day rule, then a lot like shit's gonna go down. Um so basically it was a time where Sue, she's having a time of her life, but she doesn't want to go back to her older self just yet. So with the milky substance that Demi Moore has already put in her body after the 7 day, she injects herself. Excuse me. She injects herself, and she stays um young a little bit longer, which this caused Demi Moore, her body is slowly but surely deteriorating. Now, and about an hour, now mind you, this movie is 2 hours and 20 minutes. Excuse me. This movie is 2 hours and 20 minutes. And can I easily say that this movie dragged on? I don't think it dragged on. I think if anything, this movie gets more fucked up after another. This movie gets more fucked up by the second. So now we're going into an hour and a half into the movie, almost 2 hours. The movie just gets more fucked up. And every time it's the seventh day, and if Sue doesn't go back into the body, or if Sue doesn't go back to her older self, then her nose and all that stuff, she starts bleeding. You know what I mean? She starts bleeding out. Now, I will say this: the atmosphere of the movie, it's very tense. Okay, this is a very tense movie. But however, there's some comedy to it. It is it's not just a comedy, and it's not just a horror. This is more like a sci-fi horror thriller. It's kind of more of a satire. So now you have this now Sue, she's getting more popular, and now it's a scene where she barely wants to go back at all. She doesn't want to go back to being her older self. Now, this is where it gets a little bit grosser. Now, when Demi Moore goes back to herself, now she has aged at this point. She's aged older than she was, in the beginning of the movie. Now, mind you, Demi Moore in real life, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think she's 50-something years old in the movie. And there has been a lot of talk about how different she looked. She went through, I don't know, Botox or whatever you want to call it. But Demi Moore, to me, she still look good for her age. She still has it. I'm not going to hold you. But now, there's a scene where Demi Moore, her character Elizabeth Sparkle, she's going on TV. She's watching TV, and she's making some food, and then she just goes complete nutso after she sees Sue getting all this popularity, and it was like a 5-minute monologue of her just going nuts after, like, during the fact that she's eating. You know what I'm saying? She's eating, she's cooking, she's eating. And I think right there, this is enough where Demi Moore should get recognized, I think, come Oscar time. And I'm going to get to more of that in a sec. Now, she goes completely nutso. And then about 2 hours into the movie, there's a fight scene between Elizabeth Sparkle and Sue, which I don't want to really spoil how that happened, okay? But that is not, if you think, just when I thought the movie was over with, if you think that was bad, wait till you see the last 15 minutes of the movie. Now, the last 15 minutes of the movie, I will warn you now, if you do not like gore, if you have bad anxiety, if you do not like body horror, this is not the movie for you. If you do not like grotesque movies, this is not the movie for you. If you like this type of stuff, this is the movie for you. Now, I didn't even expect the ending, because the ending just went nuts. Lots of blood, lots of makeup, okay, lots of special effects went into this movie. This is a almost 2.5 hours of horror. Now, I will say this. I'm not going to give away the ending. But the ending is so fucked up that this will stay, and mind you, I saw this movie on Thursday. We at Sunday, and I'm still thinking about that fucked up ending I've seen. Now, I don't have any nightmares or anything like that. But you guys know me. I don't do well with body horror. So the last 15 minutes of the movie, I had to look. I had to look. Like I had to shut my eyes. I was like, whoa, 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 what the fuck? Like, whoa, no, this is not, this is not it. Whoa, just stop. No, whoa, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck did I just watch? What the fuck did I just witness? Now, I will say this. This movie is one of the most fucked up movies I've seen in a long time. This is probably one of the most grossest, the most bloodiest movies I've seen in a long time. And I thought Terrifier 2 was bad. But this was just, it went completely nuts. It just went completely nuts. And this played out. And I'm going to tell you, several elements. It played several elements. It paid homage to movies from the 80s, movies from the 90s. And to me, it kind of reminded me of a David Cronenberg body horror Nathan mentioned. It is. I will say this. It was just so bloody. It was just so grotesque. You know how I feel about body horror. I did not expect that coming. Now, this movie borrowed elements from David Cronenberg, some of his movies. This movie borrowed elements from movies like from the Beyond, The Fly. And then it even brought elements of The Thing, which you guys know me, I don't do well with The Thing. It was like that. And now The Fly, I could take to a degree. To a degree, I could take The Fly. And it did borrow elements from The Human Centipede, which I've never seen a Human Centipede. But you're talking about the one movie that I refuse to even review on this channel and refuse to watch again was The Thing. That's all I'm going to say. Because this movie just went nuts. And the blood, it was just whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. It was so bloody. Like, I don't know how much buckets of blood. I don't know what the budget was. But I don't know if this movie is going to do well at the box office. So far, I haven't really heard anything. But I don't know. Who knows? After people are hearing about it and keep hearing about it, who knows? Maybe it might do well at the box office. So, if you love horror movies, if you love body horror, I urge you to see this. Now, do I say that this movie is a good movie? Yes. In its own right, yes. Do I think they should have shaved it off a little bit with the running time? Maybe. Yes. Now, could I have lived without the ending that I saw? Oh, easily. I could have lived without that ending that I saw. Did I want a different outcome of this movie? The hell I did. I wanted a different outcome. I thought the movie was over with. But didn't nobody warn me about this movie. Didn't nobody warn me about... People warned... When I saw the reviews, I was warned that the last 10 minutes was going to be nuts. The last 20 to 30 minutes. I'd say more of the last, probably, I want to say 15 minutes of the movie. I was like, what did I just see? What was that? But what made it funny about the ending was it was a scene where I'll put it to you this way: it was a scene involving hair colors, which you can't exactly curl your hair if you don't have hair to begin with. I mean, that to me was hilarious. It was just hilarious. Now, I will say this: the three leads, Demi Moore, Margaret Qualley, and Dennis Quaid. First, I want to start with Demi Moore. I think she gives. I think her best I'm not, if not the best performance of her career. I think she should be getting. I think she get an Oscar nomination for this movie, and it's a brava performance. And I will say that if this is not her comeback role, I don't know what is. And when Demi Moore, I never thought of her as a bad actress, but I followed her career since her General Hospital days and her Brat Pack days. When she's given a good script, I mean, she does excel. And in this case, she just went completely nutso in one scene. And it kind of reminded me of Nicolas Cage. I think it was almost like if she was channeling like her Nicolas Cage nutso. You know how Nicolas Cage gets nutso. I think it's kind of that sort of. But I think Demi Moore come Oscar time. I think she should be nominated for Best Actress. I think it's if not her best performance in her whole career. Um, she was very. She took a risk on this project, and I'm glad that she was in this movie. I couldn't see anybody who would play Elizabeth Sparkle. I just couldn't see it. Um, but you know what? I'm glad that she's back in she's back in movie theaters and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And mind you, I mean she had a steady career. You know what I mean? After the '80s, with projects like Ghost, and A Few Good Men, and Decent Proposal, which that was another good movie. And then she disappeared from the spotlight, in the 2000s, and came back slowly with like certain like small projects and stuff like that too. So I mean, it's good to see her in this type of movie. And and her performance, I think, was just flawless. I don't think it can't get any better than this. Margaret Qualley, who plays Sue, I thought she was quite good. A lot of people are praising her. She was just as equally good as Demi Moore and me. I don't think so. I thought she was just quite good. She was quite good here. I saw her in Driveway Dolls, which that was okay. That was directed by one of the Coen brothers. I think it was Ethan Coen, if I'm not mistaken. She's been in other projects too. Notably Donnybrook, um, a couple years ago. So yeah, she was quite good in this one. She did such a good job. So yeah, I think I don't think as far as like Oscar conversation, I don't think no, I don't think she gave an Oscar worthy performance, but she does give a great pretty good performance here. Dennis Quaid, I think gives one of his best performances, and I think he should be nominated also for an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actors. Harvey, even though he was really not in the movie all that much, but when he was, I mean, you can't get better than that. You know what I'm saying? Now, the original choice for Harvey was the late great late Ray Liotta, but before they was able to shoot his scenes, he had passed away. So he was recasted. They recasted him, with Dennis Quaid. I honestly think Ray Liotta, I could see him playing Harvey because Ray Liotta has played, sleazy, like bad guy roles too. You know what I'm saying? Movies like Unlawful Entry and a movie that just came out not long ago, 1992. Movies like Goodfellas, and he was also in Something Wild, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think that was his feature film debut, if I'm not mistaken. Got some accolades for that too. You know what I'm saying? But Dennis Quaid, I think he should get major awards consideration as well too. I could see best screenplay of come Oscar time, best screenplay, best visual effects. You know what I'm saying? As far as best movie, I just don't see this movie even getting in the Oscar race for best movie of the year, because you know how the Oscars are. They do not nominate horror movies like that. So I think um now there's been rumblings that Demi Moore might get nominated, which I hope that's true, but I feel like she might be forgotten in this. It is just such a great performance. But do I easily say this is one of the best movies of the year? Yes, I think it's actually one of the most creative, one of the most grotesque movies I've seen in a long time. Um, do I really say that this is like a movie to remember? Yes, easily. Will I own this movie? Well, I wouldn't exactly go out and buy it right away. I don't know if I even want to own this movie. I think this might be a one-time watch. Maybe. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. And don't get me wrong, it's such a great movie. It's a great movie. It's, you know, I think one of the best horror films of the year, but does it make it like my top 10 movies of the year? We'll have to see. We'll have to see. There's still more movies I want to see and stuff like that. So, with that being said, um, what do I rate this movie? I think I rate this. Actually, I rate this an A+ because despite the grotesqueness, despite the blood I could take, but the story is fresh and it's inventive, and it pays homage to your favorite horror movies, whether it's body horror or sci-fi horror. You know what I'm saying? So I give this movie also, as far as stars, I give this movie as of right now an 8.5 out of 10. Um, do I think they should have cut it a little bit short? Yeah, maybe, but I felt like it didn't really drag. I think the atmospheric, I think, moved along the movie. You know what I'm saying? And the background music I thought was pretty dope. Um, it did make me laugh. It did make me jump. It did make me want to run out of the movie theater. Now, have heard stories that people threw up and ran out of the movie theater, especially within the last 30 minutes of the movie. Do you blame them? No, I do not. I don't blame them at all. But if this is a movie that you definitely want to see, I highly recommend it. I give it 2 thumbs way, way, way up for the substance, despite being a body horror, which I don't mess well with body horror. So, um, that is pretty much my review on this one. And like I said, some spoilers. I didn't want to exactly spoil the whole movie, but let's just say you've been warned. You probably saw the reviews. You probably saw audience reviews and stuff like that, and it's doing really well on Rotten Tomatoes. I believe it might be in the 90s. I think it scored like a 90 something on Rotten Tomatoes, which That's really good. And on IMDb, so right as of right now, it got an 8.0 out of 10 on IMDb. And the Metacritic score, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's 90, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, this is definitely a nutso movie. And like I said, it pays homage to, cats like David Cronenberg, John Carpenter, even Brian Usma. And I do want to point out that this movie has a hint, like it pays a small homage to a movie called Society back in 1989 of how gross this movie is. So for those of you who know what I'm talking about when I say Society, that one was also gross, and I did not do well. I didn't well. It's not that I didn't do well with that. It was just so the last. I want to say the last 10 minutes, even that was kind of gross out. Especially the orgy scene in particular. I'm like, oh God, what did I just watch? You know what I'm saying? And it kind of played that even that kind of reminded me a little bit of The Thing. So yeah, this does have elements now. Yeah, so this movie is pretty much fucked up. So all right, I'm gonna go to the comments real quick. Who we got in the building? We got Nathan in the building. We got Dan the Man is also in the building. We have Tony is in the building as well too. Um, I'm gonna read some of the comments real fast. I'm not gonna be on here too long, but I'm gonna be on long enough to read some comments. Nathan says hi, bro. Dan the Man says what's up. Um, Dan the Man says keep hearing that the substance is good. I need to check it out. If you saw Since you saw my review, you have been warned. Like I said, the last 10 minutes. That's all I gotta say. Um, Nathan says this is definitely sounds like a great movie. I would be checking it out for sure. Yeah, definitely check it out. What's up, Mike? I was hyped for your Diddy live stream Friday, but you didn't go on live. I read your community post, so it's all good. Yeah, I didn't go on live because something came up, and it was to the point where it's like, oh well, great. Now, great. Okay, how long is this gonna take? And then by the time I got home, I'm like, yeah, I couldn't even muster up the energy to even go on the rant. So, um, that is definitely coming up. I have not forgotten about the Diddy rant. So that's definitely coming up. Um, I don't know about tomorrow because it's football. So if I got enough time in between, who knows? I mean, who knows? It may I don't know. Who knows? Because I know tomorrow I got some stuff I got going on tomorrow, and then plus football games all day. So um, yeah. But if I could try to squeeze it in, I'm gonna try to squeeze it in. Probably put it in a community tab. Um, this sounds like a lot like classic David Carnival. Yeah, it does. Oof. Um, Tony says you haven't seen nothing yet. Might watch Old Boy with Joaquin Phoenix. The twist ending is fucked up. Oh wow, I haven't seen that. Oh, here we go. Tribal, what's goody? Salute to you, Try. Have you seen the substance? If you have not seen it, I'm warning you now. The last 15 minutes of the movie. That's all I gotta say. I don't do well with body horror. That movie was fucked up. Oh my god, that movie was so fucked up. Um, let's go. Tribal said, "Let's go Lions." Yes, yes, yep. They play at 4:25. Hopefully the Lions. You know, I'm telling you this now. They better win because that last game was booty. Like I don't understand. Like I don't like we should have won that game. You know what I'm saying? Like we should have won that game. There was so many mistakes, and we just hopefully we win this one. Hopefully tomorrow. Hopefully. You haven't seen it yet. It's getting excellent reviews. It's not only it's getting excellent reviews, but it's getting like somewhat of an Oscar buzz, Oscar rumblings, and stuff like that. But it is very grotesque. If you've seen movies like The Fly or The Thing or The Human Centipede, that's all I gotta say. It does borrow elements from it. Yeah, I'm not even gonna give away the ending because yeah, uh, if you plan on watching it, yeah, yeah, you have to see it for yourself. Um, let's see. You watched the remake of The Crow. You enjoyed it. You know what? I would have thought you wouldn't enjoy it because did you watch? I'm assuming you watched the old one. I've I saw the trailer and I was looking at the trailer. I'm like, okay, maybe might be good. But then once I saw the trailer again, the more I saw it, I'm like, no, I couldn't do it because one, they got I don't. Alan Skarsgård. I can't. I can't. I don't see it. Like I do want to. I'm still trying to get that 4K steelbook of Brandon Lee's The Crow, but Bill Skarsgård. Whatever his name is, Bill Skarsgård. I just couldn't see him as The Crow. I could not. Yeah, it could have been a spinoff. I mean, it probably would have worked better, yeah. But I don't know. It maybe I watch it on TV or something. If it comes on TV, I'll probably I'll give it a go. Um, that Megan Fox movie was it? How was it? Cause I looked at I watched the trailer of that it looked. Uh, Megan Fox, she's not an actress. I'm sorry, she can't act. I liked her in the first Transformers. I thought she fared good, but anything she touches, I don't think she's just a. I wouldn't even say she's a pretty face. I mean, she was okay. Hope she was in a show called Hope and Faith. I thought she was quite good in that. I watched that TV show faithfully when it came on, but yeah, Megan Fox is not a good actress, but I think it's one of her. Wow, okay, I'm gonna have to see it. I'm gonna have to you know, I'm gonna have to take a look at it. One of her best performances. Wow, okay. I'll take a look at it and see. Maybe we could review that one. Tony says, "Have I seen Barbarian?" I want to see Barbarian. I have not seen it. I've heard good things about it. Another movie that I've seen, actually before The Substance, I saw two movies in one night. I saw Speak No Evil, which that was a great movie. I think Even that was one of the best movies of the year, one of the best horror films of the year. Try said Barbarian was good. Yeah, I kind of want to see that. It sounds good, but yeah. Way to kick off horror movies. God damn, I just saw Speak No Evil, and then I just saw The Substance. Two horror movies in one night. But I'm okay. I'm gonna go back to my old classic horror movies. I still need to watch The Fog from 1980. I still need to watch that. Um, that and what is it? I still want to see. I still need to watch Evil Dead in its entirety, the first one. Bike Riders. Yes, I own Bike Riders. That was one of the best movies of the year. But I did not like Tom Hardy in that. I thought he was the worst thing in the movie. I couldn't understand half half of what he said in that whole movie. And me and my friend, we was watching that movie. I went to see it with my friend, and me and him, every time Tom Hardy talks, me and him, we just start laughing. We just start laughing. It's just his performance is just laughable. But the whole movie itself, Austin Butler, I thought was great. Um, what is her name? Jodie Comer, I thought was great as well too. I think she should get major awards. I think she carried this whole movie. But yeah, you'll definitely like it. It's a very good movie, very good movie. And that was one of the movies that was supposed to come out last year, but it got pushed back. So yeah, yeah, you're definitely in for a treat on that one. Favorite Halloween costume? I dressed up as. Um, my favorite, actually, it wasn't really a costume. Actually, no, I take this back. I dressed up as Run DMC one year back in 2013, and I went to this Halloween party, and we had to dress up, and I dressed up as Run. I had the um, you know how he had like the shirt and then like the gold chain, and then he had the hat and stuff like that. I dressed up as him, but I kind of dressed up as like a young, I mean, not to say he was fat or anything like that, but at that time I was skinnier. I was like 198, so I was like a skinny version of Run DMC. Do I watch college football? I don't honestly. I stopped watching it, to be honest with you, because I just don't. I haven't gotten into it anymore. I'm more about the NFL now. But when I did watch it, I was a Michigan and Michigan State fan, and people ask me like, why? Like, how can you root for both? Well, it's simple, because for one thing, Michigan, I was a Michigan fan because my ex was a Michigan fan, so it made me like Michigan, and I was a State fan because one of my family members graduated, went to State. But yeah, I don't really watch college football like that anymore. Arch Manning killing it for Texas. Yeah, I keep hearing about him too. I heard he was doing good for Texas. That's what's up. Tony says, how many fights have I been in? Um, I've been in off topic, like offhand. I haven't been in that many actually. I mean, I've won a few and lost a couple. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I mean? One of the last fights I was in um, was, let me see, one of the fights I remember. It wasn't even a fight. It was just one of those. All right, you got to jump in for your boys. You know what I'm saying? So I was at a bar and it was this dude. Like, mind you, it was one my roommate at the time. It was one of his friends. He was doing something nice, and then this guy, he was drunk, and he punched my roommate's friend in like the chest or whatever. And then my roommate, he tried to fight, and he slipped and fell. So then once he tried to once he tried to punch him, I grabbed the dude, took him down, and then I just kind of like pinned him on the ground. And he was like, "Okay, okay, okay. I don't want no beef. I don't want no beef." So we didn't get kicked out, but they got kicked out. You know what I'm saying? And I had people. Next thing I know, like I had people like, "Oh my god!" Like you could have easily beat him up. I was like, "Look, honestly, I'm not trying to go to jail tonight. It was just all self defense." You know what I'm saying? So I like, hey, I could have easily, but like, and I'm not gonna lie, like, I won a few fights and then I lost a couple, few. You know what I'm saying? So I'm being first to admit it. But you're not gonna win every fight. I mean, I've been in not that many, and I try not to be in any fights, especially in this day and age now. So, man, but that's an interesting question, though. Interesting question. All right, so since it's my favorite time of the year, and no, the hell it's not Christmas. No, I don't know. Christmas is not my favorite time of the year. Hell no, not even close. Since it's Halloween, Halloween, which means that I don't. Well, I've already started with the horror movies. So all October is Halloween themed. I'm gonna say this now. Come the 31st. As a matter of fact, that weekend, that whole weekend, that weekend up until the 1st of November, I will not do any live streams. No live streams unless if I'm collaborating with somebody. But horror movie, that Halloween, I'm shutting my phone off. That means horror. That's my horror movie marathon. I'm going in for some candy, some food. I'm ordering food that day. I'm not leaving this house. I'm watching horror movies from the time I get up to the time I go to bed, maybe until 6 o'clock in the morning. And then I'm waking up November 1st. I'm still continuing. It'll be an all day thing. And then, especially the weekend before, yes, sign me up. That is my tradition. It's been my tradition for years. So I don't want to hear no. Oh, you going on live for Hollow? No, no, don't even do it. No comprende. Not in my compartment. I'm not going on no live. Mm-mm. Unless if I'm collaborating. Now, if I'm collaborating, we doing a movie review. Okay, that's different. I'll break for that. Other than that, my all my live streams, my YouTube be closed for that day. So yeah. Try says I still love Halloween. Yes. Love it. That's my favorite holiday. Tony says, favorite cartoon show watched as a kid. Great question. Doug, Rugrats, Rocco's Modern Life, Dexter's Laboratory, Animaniacs, Bobby's World, Arthur. That's to name a few. Bram Stoker's Dracula, yes, yes. In October, yes. And I have the 4K. I have the 4K. I have the 4K steelbook of that. So I'm definitely am gonna give it a watch. Definitely. Tony says, um, don't lie, Mike. I know you were throwing hands like Evander Holyfield in a day. I know you not a sucker. Well, I don't like to brag, but I mean, I did knock a couple of teeth out here and there, here and there. Broke somebody's jaw here and there, a little bit. Made somebody bleed somewhat. But I'm a lover, not a fighter. So, I mean, I could throw hands, but it's one like, hey, like Mr. Miyagi says, don't strike first. That's how you get yourself less in trouble. Oh, speaking of which, speaking of Mr. Miyagi, Try, how do you feel about joining me for a breakdown of the first three Karate Kid films? Let me know. Nathan says, sounds like a great Halloween plan. Oh, you darn right it is. It's my tradition. It's my tradition. It's been tradition for years. And I am excited about it. Yeah, I don't know if it's I don't know if it's like a lit try. I don't know if it's like a limited edition of no, it's not a limited edition of the Steelbook. I think Walmart, if I'm not mistaken, I think has it. I think you could order it. But the Steelbook looks nice though. It's pretty much the same as the one I sent you, pretty much. Um Jay Sunflower. Yeah, I remember you. I remember your name. Um Can't enjoy as many lives. I'm not worried about that. Yeah, it's all good. It's fine. You yeah, not everybody could join all my live streams and stuff. People got stuff going on, so I mean you're good. You're straight. You know. Um, Hell, sometimes I can't even join on my own live stream. Shoot. What was I talk? Well, if you saw the thumbnail, I was talking about the movie The Substance. It's a horror movie. So where are we at? Where we at? We're in about 58 minutes into this. This went by quick. And that review didn't even take long either. And the movie itself, it was just like people would think that people didn't think that like people think it's like a simple story. The movie The Substance. People think it's a simple story, but it's a simple story with complicated situations. Let's just say that. It's a simple story with blown out of proportion. Let's just say that. Let's just say that. So, have I seen Young Sheldon? I have heard about it. I think I saw probably like one episode. I don't, to be honest with you, I don't even watch TV like that. I don't, the new shows, I don't even watch like that. I probably watch maybe two or three of them, maybe, but that's about it. And plus too, like I work evenings, so I don't even have time to even watch, TV like that. So, I work afternoons, evenings, and stuff like that. Um, you see it 30 times, that's good. Um, the one show that I've watched that well, I should be getting back into is Cobra Kai. I need to get back into that. I haven't watched. I've watched like the part one of the what is it? What are they on, season 5 or something like that? I watched part one of that. Um, and yeah, I know part two is coming out. I think they keep saying this year, but I think it's coming out early next year if I'm not mistaken. I think that might be the last. Um, and I can't believe this is the last season. But then yet again, um, I mean, what more can you tell? But I hated the fact that Chad McQueen, who was in the original Karate Kid, he passed away just like a week ago. They was trying to bring him back on there, but um, he was already retired. For those of you who don't know who Chad McQueen is, I believe he played Dutch on the first Karate Kid, and that is the son of Steve McQueen, this old actor from like the 60s and the 70s. Um, have I been working on my bop since I'm moving to Cali? Man, I've been working on getting a lot of junk out of here. Oh, trust me, California ain't ready for me. That's just it. They ain't ready. Shoot, I don't know. Who knows? I might run into Q Smooth because I know he in California. So who knows? I might run into him maybe. Who knows? But I don't know. Who knows? I might run into uh Red movie what's that? Wet movie one. Wet movie one, Sean C. Phillips. Who knows? Jay says, have I had a brisket? Yeah, I've had briskets before. I'm a fan of briskets, but I just only eat them like that. They good though. It just depends on what type of brisket and where I get it from. It's good. Yeah, it depends. Depends on where you get it from, but they are good. There are some good biscuits out there. No more walking with the slope. Yeah, no, I can't do that no more. I can't walk with the slow bop. But um yeah, man. Am I gonna miss Michigan? Hell to the yeah, but hell to the no at the same time. But I mean, I don't know. If it don't work out in Cali, I mean, who knows? I could come back home. Who knows? Or I could go somewhere else. Who knows? I mean, I don't know what the future holds, but I know for a fact that um, you know, Michigan is still, gonna be my home and stuff like that. And I've been, you know, I've been here almost all my life. I've been here like all my life basically. So, um, yeah, you definitely need to go. Yeah, yeah, um, yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. Thanks for coming by. GA. Have a good night. Um, what food am I excited to try? In and Out. In and Out in Cards Jr. Yeah, it's about 2 a.m. here too. Yeah, I live on the East Coast. But yeah, yeah, In and Out Burger. I heard was good, Tony. Um, but you know what though? You know how like I don't know about where you at, but here we don't have enough TGI Fridays because some of them close. Nor we don't have a Bennigan's like that anymore. But most of they most of they restaurants they close at 2 a.m. Here they close at midnight. So that'll tell you something. I'm like, geez Louise. But yeah, definitely, yeah, I do want to try some spots too. It was this good Chinese restaurant. I don't know. My mom bought some Chinese, and it was so good that oh my god, like I want to go back. Like I literally want to go on my first night. Where was that Chinese place? But yeah, man, yeah, some good spots, definitely. Yeah, authentic Mexican restaurants. Yeah, I'm definitely visiting those. You know, I'm definitely gonna be visiting like Mexican restaurants, and I'm gonna try to see if they have some um like a book off or like a half price books or something like that. I know they got Barnes and Noble and Best Buy, but I mean, what's the point? Best Buy ain't got shit as far as physical media now, so I'm gonna try to find some like video stores. I think if I'm not mistaken, I think it's some video stores that's left in California. I don't care where. Look, I'll rent a car. I'll drive down there. I don't care. I don't give a fuck at this point. Shoot, I'll go because I know it's some down. I know it's some down there somewhere. But I'm gonna find them. I'm gonna start doing a hunt. Blood in, blood out. Is that the one that came out in the '90s? Because that title sounds familiar. You know, because there's a few movies that had the same title, Blood in, Blood Out. But um, okay, it's about Mexican. Okay, yeah, I know. I know which one you're talking about. Because there's a couple movies that has the same title, but but different storylines. So, oh man. All right. Yep. It is. It is around 2 o'clock. It was 2:14. So I think I'm gonna get off of here. I'm gonna end this off right here. So if you guys aren't planning on watching the substance, you better. Yeah, it's the calm before the storm. That's all I gotta say. Within 2 hours and yeah, actually 2 hours actually. 2 hours calm before the storm with a couple of things happening here there. But the last 20 minutes of the movie, yeah, that's all I gotta say. So, with that being said, thank you guys so much for coming on. Shout out to Triborough Go subscribe to his channel. Salute. That Ain't Rap Podcast. Shout out to Reg Reviews. Um, Shout out to Reg, which I'm pretty sure he's having fun doing what he's doing now. Um, Go subscribe to Reg Reviews. Shout out to Rayshawn Butler, who is also has a YouTube channel, Ray Mania. So go subscribe to his channel. Eric Johnson, subscribe to him. Eric Johnson 1984. Subscribe to all those channels. You'll definitely have some fun. And I am free. I do collaborate on all those channels. So if you don't see me on here, you pretty much see me in all those other channels, depending on, topic and stuff like that. Um, I do not have any new pickup lines yet. I'm not, honestly, hey, I'm not even looking. Not at the moment, but I'm pretty sure I'll come up with some, maybe. So, all right. Shout out to the chat, Tony, Nathan, Jay Sunflower, um, Tribal, and shout out to everybody who's watching and stuff like that. Thank you so much for coming on here and watch and stuff like that. And as I prepare for California, which that'll be coming within the next couple months. Um, yeah. So in the meanwhile, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next live stream. Peace out.